We go to the AFC North. It's going to stay the same. Bengals, Joe Burrow's had a great camp. That's promising because they've been a slow starting team. Ravens are the best operation, arguably, in the sport. Steelers have not been impressive. Once again, can't run the ball in camp or in the season. Cleveland's trying to get a number one pick next year. Shadur's going to start, mark my word, probably finish fourth, but they'll be an interesting fourth-place team. That stays the same. My first change.
Yeah. His first change is in a different division. I think this division could be really weirdly competitive, specifically with the Ravens and the Bengals. I think the Steelers, again, going with the whole division, unless they collapse, I think a team like the Steelers and the Cowboys, I have similar thoughts where I see it as very binary, where it either really comes together and they win games and really surprise people, or it's just like, there's no point in watching this at all, right? Like, you're like, the only chance that a team like the Bengals or the Ravens have to lose to the Steelers is if it's just one of those absolute bizarre divisional games, like just one of those things where you're just like, why, how did that even, like, what? You missed 4 field goals in the half? Like, wait, what? Like, I don't even understand. But besides that, I mean, listen, I think the Bengals were sneakily an underrated team. I think if T. Higgins plays throughout the whole season, they make the playoffs. I think if their defense, and this is obviously not even close to a hot take, like if their defense was just even slightly competent, they win another 2-3 games. So like, I think it could be closer between the Bengals and the Ravens than people realize. But of course, I'm going to go with the Ravens because I trust that franchise light years ahead of the Cincinnati Bengals. Like, it's not even close. It's absolutely not even close. And I trust the versatility of a Lamar Jackson over a Joe Burrow if things start kind of collapsing, if things start to get weird. Derrick Henry goes down, a couple linemen go down, the defense is just not as good as you were used to in years past. Like, I trust someone like a Lamar Jackson to be able to overcome that. So just the level of resiliency that I believe that the Ravens have over a team like the Bengals. But I do think it should be a lot more competitive. I don't think this is just a walk in the park for the Baltimore Ravens, although, again, I believe in the Baltimore Ravens roster. They most definitely have one of the most complete rosters in the NFL, with clearly one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, and their coaching staff is beyond competent, right? Like, I have my issues with their coaching staff and their ability to prove to me that they're ready to play in any given moment. And I'm a lot of it is also going with the idea of like, this defense should be better throughout the whole year rather than having to like pick it up halfway through. I'm confident that they have a lot deeper understanding now as to how to balance out Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry. They were kind of figuring that out over those first handful of weeks where, like, how do we maximize this? How do we really benefit? How do we put both these players and just the offense as a whole in positions to succeed? And then I'm also having the confidence that they're going to not lead the NFL in penalties. I think they led the NFL in both number of penalties and penalty yards, if memory serves me correctly. Definitely at least one of them. And it just drove me nuts. I mean, it absolutely drove me insane, because it's like, your team is just overflowing with Pro Bowlers. You have Lamar Jackson, who's playing out of his mind. Derrick Henry's playing out of his mind. You have legitimately experienced veteran coaches. This isn't a new coaching staff, right? This isn't a bunch of 30-year-olds here. Like, you have grown men, Super Bowl winning coaches, like, and it was indefensible to me. I couldn't wrap my head around it. And it's not like some of those penalties came because they were just so aggressive and they were just ready to attack. Like, I would be better with that. I would be so much more inclined to be like, okay, you know what? I don't love the penalties, but like, they're so aggressive. They're so physical. They're so locked in. You know what? It's okay. It's like coaches used to always say to me all the time. It's like, if you're going to make a mistake, I'd rather it be because you're too aggressive. Like, those are the mistakes that I feel better about, not the mental mistakes or the lack of effort and aggression. But like, that wasn't the case for the Baltimore Ravens. It was just a lack of discipline and a lack of being prepared. And so it's like, I don't want to get fooled again. And I'll have to say my obligatory Tom Brady quote where he said the Baltimore Ravens are a sleeping giant. And I said, well, why the heck are they sleeping? There's no reason for this team to be sleeping. And To be fair, I had the same feeling in 23 going into 24 where I was like, man, this team was so great. Lamar was so great. Everything was so great. They're adding Derrick Henry, et cetera, et cetera. Like, I have to imagine that they are just getting after it. They are so hyper-focused. They are so ready to go. They are so ready to get after it. And that wasn't what happened in 24. And now I have like a similar feeling where I'm just like, this team's right here, man. They're literally right there. They're right there. You got all the pieces that you could possibly need. You now also have the experience. You have the experience of success and you have the experience of failure. And make no mistake about it, the experience of failure is absolutely crucial to development and getting better. Lamar needs to fail. Lamar needs to know what it's like to have multiple turnovers in a playoff game and go like this to his head. He needs to know what it's like to feel that pain. Zay Flowers needs to know what it's like to fumble in a crucially important game. That's how you grow. That's how you evolve. That's how you get better. That's how you stay hungry. So it's just like I'm banking and believing that all of this is going to grow, motivate, and push this team forward. But like I said, I had that exact feeling going into 2024 that I have in 2025. So hopefully it actually pans out for the Baltimore Ravens. But I don't know if there's really any point in even bringing up the Cleveland Browns because I don't really see that team really doing much of anything, no matter who their quarterback is. But I think we're still. I think we can still pretty much guarantee that we're going to have some exciting games between the Ravens and the Bengals, as long as everyone stays healthy, of course. But especially if they stay healthy, I can't imagine their defense getting any worse, and I can't imagine why their offense would get worse. So I just think we'll have pretty exciting matchups between those two teams, and I do think it'll be competitive for the division, and it might very well come down to the head-to-head moments, and if any of those teams messes up and falls to a team like the Cleveland Browns or the Pittsburgh Steelers, which, to be fair, that is what happened to the Baltimore Ravens. So, this will, I think this will be a pretty sneaky fun division to watch, especially if the Steelers can put it together rather than explode. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the Baltimore Ravens winning the AFC North yet again over the Bengals, and the Steelers being third and the Browns being fourth? Do you think it'll be competitive? Do you think it'll be a walk in the park? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me. Either way, let's get in some discussions, let's get in some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're all on our way to doing it. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.